Is it live? Is it live?
From Mike Anderson Seafood, Leslie at Nicholson. Welcome to the Tuesday edition. Live at lunch. 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge. Charles Hanniger, Jimmy Ott, Max Gotro, Jordan Kinchin's back in the studio. Andy Isco with us today. First class, second class, no class today. Been waiting for this one. SC Media Days, continuing with day number 2, Georgia. Talking this morning. Boy, Kirby had a nice suit on today.
Who did?
Kirby Smart.
Kirby Smart usually, he's got them little frat bangs, that he's still rocking, but he's usually well dressed. But Sam Willard usually dresses our players. So.
Yeah. Our guys were dressed pretty good yesterday.
Always.
They did the Kyron Lacey tribute to, Nussmeier.
Oh, in the lining.
In the lining, yeah, which I thought was nice.
As Sam always does this. So my Delmar opening day jacket one year, he had the horse lining.
Yeah.
It's just it's a nice touch, man. It's a subtle. It's cool.
It's a nice deal. 10 years at Georgia for Kirby now. 105 and 19.
I was looking through the dean of coaches period. Because we just don't have the Paternos, the Bowdens.
And Saban's gone now.
Saban had an interrupted, but how long was he at? He wasn't the dean of coaches. Maybe in the SEC.
In the SEC, I thought that's
who's
what
the
we were
dean of coaches
about.
in the SEC now? Is it Kirby?
It is.
No, it's not.
No, it's not. Let me think about this for a second.
I don't care about them. As long as they go to Music City Bowl, it's a big deal. Second most popular sport on campus.
Stoops,
yes, indeed.
yeah.
And who's under a little heat now.
Well,
or is he?
I think he is. But I don't know that it's necessarily because of the record. I think there's people up there that still got their red ass with him for that deal with A&M. That, he was their guy before that.
Damaged a little.
Yeah. He had a deal done. He had one foot out the door, and then the whole thing fell apart.
Kentucky football, you take what you can get, Well, it's like us in the LSU basketball. Well, Wade's not going to go to the Final Four. But
yeah,
we're going to be choosy. No.
Well, you can do that, but last year they fell off. They were 1-7 in the league. So, yeah, if he'd have gone 4-4 in the league again.
What did LSU go in basketball last year?
3-15, I believe. Yeah, that was.
Ask Mac. He's a maniac. McManiac.
He's the one.
Max.
He's
McManiac. McManiac. Max Maniac.
17 first-round picks for
Max,
Kirby in 10 years.
You went to every home game, huh? Oh, wait. Jeez, love. Okay, go ahead.
Pretty much. I go to a lot of them, yeah. Season ticket holders.
Ample seating available.
Money. You can move down as far as you want. You can sit by the bench, basically, if you want to.
But I'll tell you who is. The other dean. There's another guy there's two guys that are tied, and then there's the one that you hated the contract, but he's still chugging along. He's still winning his 8 games or so a year. They're playing defense and punting. You may not like it, but they win. Kirk Ferentz. He's the dean of coaches.
Of all.
Yeah. And then there's 2 close behind that are tied.
Most FBS wins of any coach, Kirk Ferentz.
Ferentz.
Brian Kelly's second in terms of
Really?
FBS wins. If you add Grand Valley State, he's the most wins in all of coaching.
But at their place, there's 2 guys.
That have been
One's an alum.
Kyle Whittingham.
Very good, Charlie.
Yeah.
And the other one's an alum.
Oh.
Come on, Charlie. You don't be a boy. You're a man.
Oh, yeah, Gundy. Gundy's been there. It's easy to remember since Miles left. I mean, 2005.
Remember coming out of the pandemic, he had the controversial political shirt or whatever, and he had to whatever. Oh, and we took plus money on him not getting fired.
Yeah.
Well, you go 3-9, and you want to talk about a guy that maybe stuck in his ways a little bit. Doesn't want to embrace the new landscape.
Changed his tune last week, didn't he?
And you got T. Boone is gone. The modern day T. Boone's in Lubbock now.
Yes, very much. Very much. No, he said that these are the first players we've ever bought, which is probably not exactly
exactly
accurate, but
above
still.
the board.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Kirby Kirby has won 100 games faster than any coach to get to 100 wins. Has not lost a home game since 2019 between the Hedges. You remember that game?
Wait.
Last game Georgia lost at home, 2019.
Oh, that was the Alabama game?
No?
No, wait. Hold on. 2019. That was the LSU year, but Georgia won.
Georgia
Was that Kentucky?
Georgia was 10 and
Was it
2 years.
Kentucky
No,
or
but you're in
Missouri?
the right neighborhood though.
Missouri?
South Carolina.
I don't remember that one.
It was a double overtime game. South Carolina led it by a touchdown at the half. That was.
Oh, they had like a pick six in that
They
game?
had a pick six in the game. Jake Fromm was the Georgia quarterback.
No,
that year.
Fromm was really good.
Yeah, he was. They didn't have a good game that game, but and they lost it in double OT. South Carolina kicked a field goal. Georgia missed a field goal.
Huge upset.
Yeah, it was absolutely because
Georgia finished in the top 10.
Georgia was 10 and 2 that year. Yeah, they were 12 and 2 actually.
It's one of the teams that the 2019 team beat as a top 10 team and finished as a top 10 team.
Remember, so they played LSU in the SEC championship game. They were
a lot
11
of drops.
They were 11 and 1 with just that double overtime loss to South Carolina at home. That's the only thing kept them.
Oh, that's it?
That's it. They ended up losing LSU. It was their second loss. Yeah, that was it.
That was a day game, as I remember.
It was a day game.
It was a day game.
Yeah.
Who was Tennessee wasn't any good then.
No, Florida and Auburn were the two best wins that they had. They beat Notre Dame that year too.
I remember that.
That was at home.
Fromm was a good quarterback.
He was a
good
quarterback.
He didn't amount to anything at the next level, but no, he was a good quarterback. I remember the Florida game was kind of tight for a while, and then he kind of took over in that one. At Auburn, though, would have been their tough one. That was probably close.
We won by touchdown. Yeah. 21 to 14. Yeah. So Kirby was up this morning. He said he offered Nick Saban a job. He offered him. Max, you were asking yesterday where
I'd offer Saban a job.
Since McElroy dropped that bombshell yesterday that Nick might go back and coach again.
Started to backpedal a little bit on that.
Yeah, I think he kind of overplayed his hand there a little bit.
Claims he didn't really say all that.
Kirby had a little fun with it though. I thought he was humorous. I like a little lighthearted moment. It's July.
Kirby's comfortable in his seat.
Yeah.
His job security's fine.
What do you think about Nick coming back? He goes, well, I offered him Muschamp's job. He's a little overqualified, but and then he said something that I know you'll agree with, which was Miss Terry going to decide that. If that was ever.
Well, you know what?
Sure.
People that know Saban know that deal. He listens to one person.
And that's good. That's
fine. That's great. Miss Terry's cool, man.
Yeah, I got no problem
she
with
is
that.
cool. She milked Huizenga for the furniture, for a half meal. But I mean, why not? She knew she could do it.
It's one of your favorite stories.
I love that.
No, it is.
I love that. The cost of living is higher. Well, we can do this. I mean, all right, I'll throw in $500,000 for furniture
And a Blockbuster membership.
But Kirby, when they were at LSU, with that staff, with Saban and Jimbo and Kirby and Muschamp, and help me out.
Derek Dooley was the head coach of Tennessee. He was a tight ends coach that year.
Dooley, okay. I still remember that's one of my favorites, too, in the suite. Dooley couldn't get some kids up to the suite. And he's like, Dooley, figure it freaking out. Get him up here, okay? Where the hell is your suite, okay? Jimmy Yott's got people rolling in and out of the suite all day. Come on, you figure it out, Dooley.
Matt Flynn told a hilarious Derek Dooley story about when he was recruiting him and he came back and he's like, I don't really like this guy Flynn. He's got, I think he said something about fat ankles or something like that. And when Saban saw him play and Jimbo saw him play, he's like, Dooley, you're done evaluating quarterbacks. We're not doing it anymore.
So, but Muschamp was supposed to be the up-and-comer. He was supposed to be the rising star.
It raised so many eyebrows because he was so young, and Saban hired him to run his defense, which was Saban's baby, And so it caught a lot of people.
I even asked Saban about that at a press conference, and he poo-pooed it pretty quick. Like he's got a lot to learn, kind of deal. But he was supposed to be the one that was going to get his shot, and that he was getting a lot of respect in the coaching circles, but also and have you seen that recent video of LSU on the sideline? And somebody messes up. Lionel Turner was one of the first ones off the field, but Saban and Muschamp are going bananas.
Yeah.
And Saban would do that at that stage. He mellowed as far as his sideline demeanor.
Yeah.
No, he would still pick his spots, But he was something, on the sidelines. But but Kirby he's just figured out. What brings me out to Kirby with this team though, where's Georgia's personnel? Because they peaked with those championship years. I mean, that defense was unbelievable, smothering. It was one of those special defenses, the LSU 03 and 11, Alabama 11, and some others, Clemson 18. Some of these special defenses that were really, really strong, and they just were a tick off last year. They were, and you can't expect them and to just maintain that level for so long. There's not a ton of Jordan Davises floating around,
No, they've had in the last 3 seasons 5 #1 picks just on defense.
Yeah.
Okay. What it reminds me of the Alabama during Nick's heyday. The national championship defenses were the absolute best in the country, and they were loaded with first-round picks. And the ones in the non-national championship years were just very good. They were just like top 5 or top
I guess we got to
8.
put Michigan's national championship defense in there as well.
I think everybody off that defense got drafted except for one.
Okay, I mean,
something like that.
They were really, really good.
Yeah, and these are first-round picks. They did the Jalen Walkers and the Jalen Carters and Nolan Smith and guys like that. They were all there. Muschamp was 31 when Saban made him. He had just turned 31 when he made DC.
He's
Now that's
he's listening, in that relationship.
That's a little bit more common now that you go with guys in that kind of position at that age. But back in 2002. That was kind of a deal. I remember us talking about that, like, wow, Saban's going to put this 31-year-old guy in charge of his defense.
Well, Charlie, to my point about being so respected when he was coming out, he had the coach-in-waiting deal after Mac Brown at Texas, which is arguably one of the best jobs in the country. And then he got the Florida job, which was arguably one of the best jobs in the country, failed there, and got another SEC job. I mean, he had his chances.
No, he had every chance.
He had his chances.
To do that anyway, and he's taking a year off. I think.
Muschamp,
yeah,
okay.
He's not on the staff there. Kind of lost track of where he is actually.
Where was his last stop?
He was at Georgia. He was an analyst last year, so he could go watch one of his sons play or something.
Yeah, he was a co-DC, and he went down to analyst just so he could spend the weekends watching his son play.
Yeah.
Play in college.
Where?
I think at Tennessee, maybe.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he's a backup, I think.
Okay, but he's on Tennessee roster?
I believe that's right. Mac, check me on that. But yeah, he had he was a rising star with the jobs that he had. Anyway, Georgia was up at the podium this morning.
What do you think of Georgia?
I think an awful lot depends on Stockton.
Well,
we liked him, but
he's going to be inconsistent.
He's not a mega talent. Okay. He is a
Pretty
good
highly recruited, but not. But I agree. I don't think he doesn't wow me with his physicals.
Right. If you think of, he's not Matthew Stafford or he's not even Carson Beck. I mean, when you talk about Georgia quarterbacks with the mega ability, he's not that. He's a very good player.
He's gutsy. I mean, he stuck his head in there and got it rocked in the SEC championship game, and the only reason he came out because they knocked him out. I mean, he was knocked silly. He's got guts more than I think that's what the team appreciates more than Beck.
Fit the attitude, yeah.
But he doesn't have the arm talent that Beck does.
No,
he doesn't. So he and he just seems like he's going to be. I mean, I don't. Who do you want to say that a guy that just kind of he's going to try and run and gut it, but he's not committed to the pocket. Maybe he will be when he's the regular starter and he gets so much more reps and the off-season reps. But he's got to take a big stride to be a dependable passer in this league. And he did nothing in the short period that we saw last year to do that. And Notre Dame wasn't a great defense, and they shut him down.
And he doesn't have the mega physical skills as some of those guys we're talking about, but neither did Stetson Bennett. And Stetson Bennett had a knack for making a big play. He had more self-confidence. His self-confidence overwhelmed his ability, and he just believed.
Okay, Stetson Bennett's small. He's short.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's smaller than this guy. Yeah.
I know. Tell me another quarterback in D1 that's shorter. Okay, but I don't think this guy has Stetson Bennett's arm talent. And I know he was more highly recruited, and that's fine. But he's bigger, and he certainly doesn't throw the ball in rhythm like Bennett did. Bennett let it go. Bennett let it go, man.
Bennett was, what, 24 years old last year?
They were down to double digits with the ball. They're on 10-yard line with the fourth quarter against Ohio State.
Yeah, he
had to go the distance twice.
He did not lack for confidence.
And he laid the egg in the conference championship game against Alabama.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and he laid the egg in the second half in the COVID game in Tuscaloosa. But that Alabama game, when they got behind, I mean, he drove them. When it was, when they finally got over the hump in the national championship game. So I don't see this guy. He may develop. He got a long way to go to get to that spot.
Georgia's floor is so high. I mean, they could roll out of bed and win 9 games. So we'll see.
But don't forget, over here at Mike Anderson Seafood, it's our July specials. Yes, indeed. God bless America. Happy birthday, America month. Yes, indeed. The kicking tails, jalapenos and Louisiana crawfish tails, deep fried and tossed in a sweet chili sauce. That's on special all July long. Shrimp cocktail, 5 jumbo Gulf shrimp served with a house-made cocktail sauce is also. How about our entree special? 2 of them for the month of July. Tookie's Lighthouse Trout, lightly seasoned trout, dusted with flour and pan sauteed, topped with lump crab meat and toasted almonds, and a light lemon butter sauce served with your choice of side, salad, or coleslaw and garlic bread. And the stuffed filet, crab meat and shrimp dressing wrapped with thin slices of fresh fish served with your choice of side, salad, or coleslaw and garlic bread. Dessert feature for July is the berry chantilly cheesecake. How about that? You talk about delicious. And Charlie, the drinks, watermelon lemon drop martini, the frozen Miami Vice, and the Urban South Paradise Peach, which is on tap here for the month of July. That's in addition to our regular specials like we have today. Tuesday, half off oysters on the half shell every Tuesday, 5 to 9 p.m. here in the Oyster Bar.
Live at Mike Anderson's Live at Lunch, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Live at lunch.
This is Charles Hanniger for Coastal Capital Advisors. When it comes to retirement, no 2 situations are alike, so Coastal Capital Advisors will tailor a plan for your family's needs no matter your age or your financial situation. The bottom line is Coastal Capital Advisors will work with you and build a lifetime relationship. I know, because they work for me. For more information, contact Philip Fontenot and his staff at 337-981-1376 or online at coastalcapitaladv.com. Advisory services provided by New Age Advisors, LLC, doing business as Coastal Capital Advisors as a registered investment advisor. Securities offered through New Age Securities, Inc., member FINRA, SIPC.
Baseball and softball players of all levels get the competitive edge you've been looking for at Total Diamond Performance. Do the same lessons, camps, classes, and clinics used by top college and MLB organizations. Everything from mental performance, in-game video, and data analysis to improve pitching, throwing velocity, bat speed, and fielding. Total Diamond Performance is tailored around the individual player to build strength and athleticism while also cleaning up mechanical deficiencies. Matt Mastretta applies what he's learned working in player development with college and MLB teams. Total Diamond Performance, 931-3730. That's 931-3730.
This hour of Live at Lunch with Ott and Hanny is brought to you by Dana Brown at the law offices of O.C. Brown, 343-1111, and OCBrown.com. Roto-Rooter for all your plumbing needs, 925-8710. Supreme Rice, grown, milled, processed in Louisiana since 1936. United Community Bank, the local way to bank big. Tex Morris at Edward Jones Investments on Jefferson Highway, 928-8659. Total Maintenance, your one-stop shop for AC, electrical, generators, and plumbing. Service today, every day for Total Maintenance and Coastal Capital Advisors. Markets evolve. We adapt. The Live at Lunch with Ott and Hanny Restaurant Club. Sammy's Grill on Highland Road. A hometown favorite for tailgating and watching LSU games since 1988. Snow Seafood and Steak for over 50 years on Airline, Highway, and Highway 74 in Gonzales. Dozy Place for hand-cut steaks on Government Street and Mid-City. Louis Cafe, a Baton Rouge landmark since 1941. Just outside the north gates of LSU. Fin Bomb, sushi, burrito, poke, ramen at Burbank and Lee. Get the 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge mobile app powered by Bayou Ford and tap the microphone icon to send us your thoughts in an audio message. Your message could be played on air. Find our app in the Apple or Google Play Store. For direct links, visit 1045ESPN.com. Tigers, Saints, Southeastern Conference, all in one place. LouisianaSports.net. No paywalls, no article limits. It's just the coverage the Louisiana sports fans want. Bookmark it today. LouisianaSports.net.
You've heard me talk about Workbox services and how they can handle all of your movable storage needs for both commercial and residential. With our shipping containers of all sizes, customized in any way that you need or desire. Now Martin Padial has expanded his coverage outside the Baton Rouge area. Workbox can now service the Gulf Coast and New Orleans areas all the way to Lake Charles. Our staff at Workbox continues to grow with Hannah, Martin Jr., Brandy, and Chris. Do like I did when I needed a movable storage unit. Call Workbox at 343-4886 or workboxllc.com. Sammy's Grill on Highland Road since 1988. A hometown favorite for tailgating and watching LSU games in a casual atmosphere with the friendliest service. Right now, we're boiling crawfish 7 days a week. Monday through Friday, first batch comes out at 5 p.m. Weekends at noon. Sammy serves a wide mix of authentic Louisiana food prepared to order with the best ingredients available. Fresh Louisiana seafood, Cajun favorites, burgers, and po' boys, all built from scratch. Our kids' menu and popular appetizers are sure to please the pickiest of eaters. Sammy's Grill on Highland Road near Starring since 1988. Congratulations are in order for one of my favorite places to eat. Snow Seafood and Steaks, celebrating its 50th anniversary. That's right, since 1971, Snow's has been serving a wide assortment of menu items to please everyone. Steaks, seafood, gumbo, homemade soup, salads, specialty cocktails, great wine selection, and oh yes, the best white chocolate bread pudding that you'll find anywhere. It's the total dining experience. Happy 50th anniversary to my friends at Snow's Seafood and Steak, Airline Highway to Highway 74 in Gonzales.
Live at lunch with Ott and Yanni from Mike Anderson Seafood on Lee Drive on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Remember, the show's available on demand, 1045ESPN.com, LouisianaSports.net. Either one of those, you can pick up the show at any time. Major League Baseball draft in the rearview mirror. This is sort of my overview of what happened from LSU's standpoint. Cade Anderson going number 3 overall. A little disappointed he didn't go number 1. That looked like an economics deal. There was a lot of signability stuff. You saw a ton of high school kids go in the first round this year. A lot of high school shortstops went early. I think there were 12 shortstops went in the first 45 picks or something like that. At any rate, Anderson going number 3. That's great for him. Brady Abel went 32 to the Brewers. He was the first LSU signee to be drafted. In reality, there was almost no chance that Abel was ever going to get to campus. Same thing with Jordan Fauske, who went in the second round of the White Sox. He was the Gatorade Player of the Year in Illinois, number 44 overall. Chase Shores at 47. Good for him. Finished up the season so strong. Slotted 47 is over $2 million. Never worked out for him as a starter at LSU. We'll never know what happened if he had been able to stay on that track from his freshman year when he was pitching so well and would have got into the rotation probably his sophomore season. But Shores finished up strong, so good for him. Quentin Young, second round of the Twins, was never coming to campus. His uncles both played in the big leagues. Delmon Young, Dimitri Young. Quentin Young was going to be a pro, so no surprise there. Dean Moss was one that they thought, the outfielder from IMG, they thought they could get him to campus if things fell right. They did not. He went 67 overall to the Rays, and 67 that bonus is right around $1.3 million. So disappointing because they thought they had a shot if things had fallen differently with Dean Moss. He's going to be moving on. Anthony Ianson fell in this draft. We thought he might go as early as the latter part of the first round. He got into the third round, 87 overall to the Red Sox. He'll have every opportunity there, and the bonus is probably going to get push right up around $1 million. So Ianson, winning pitcher in the national championship game, moving on. The one that stung me the most was probably Ethan Fry, because I know what LSU had on the table for him. He had a very nice NIL offer. He had the opportunity to play in the outfield, which he didn't last year, and he was going to hit at the top or the middle of this lineup. So that's all LSU can do. And I thought they had a good shot to get Ethan Fry back. Houston took him at number 95 overall. That slot value is $800,000. The word is that the Astros are going to push that up near $1 million, or maybe just a little bit over $1 million. That's just too much money to pass up, especially coming back for a senior year, he would have lost all his leverage. So disappointing, but understanding for Ethan Fry. Landon Hodge, the catcher, went in the 4th round of the White Sox. He was expected to go pro. Miguel Simi, the pitcher out of New York that hit over 100 miles an hour on the gun, went in the 4th round of the Nationals. They expected to lose him. Briggs McKenzie out of North Carolina, the left-handed pitcher, went in the 4th round of the Braves. They started day 2 thinking that they had a shot there. The offer was good here. They thought that his number might be a little bit high. Same thing with Moss. They thought that the number might be a little bit high and that he would get to campus. That didn't happen. The Braves take him in the 4th round. Daniel Dickinson went in the 6th round of the Brewers. Good for him. Jared Jones probably slid a little bit further than most people thought. Looked at as a top 5 or 6 rounds. Went in the 9th round to the Pirates at 263. Jacob Myers went 268 in the 9th. Cade Woods, who hardly pitched here at all in 2 years, went in the 10th round of the Braves. River Hamilton is an interesting piece because the right-handed pitcher from Oregon, originally committed to Oregon State, flipped to LSU, thought he would get his name called earlier than he did. He went in the 11th round to Detroit. That feels like a money thing to me. His talent suggests that he should have gone way above that. So maybe his number's a little bit high. LSU may have a shot there. And Connor Ware went in the 15th round to the Mets. So, the bad news is there was a couple of guys in Moss and Briggs that they thought that they could get that they didn't get. The good news really kind of came before the draft when Reagan Ricken, the big right-handed pitcher from California, withdrew from the draft, and Omar Cerna, about a week before that, withdrew from the draft. That's 2 guys that could have easily been drafted high enough to justify going pro. That pulled their name out and said they will be at LSU. Jaden Newt did not get drafted. I'm very high on Newt. I thought he was coming on as the season went along. As he inched toward that 50-inning mark post-Tommy John, I thought he was getting better and better. He was a mega recruit out of California 3 years ago. I think Newt's got a chance to be a really important part of the staff next year. Chris Stanfield's in a little bit of limbo. Thought he would get drafted somewhere, didn't. The question is, if he comes back, if he doesn't sign a free agent deal, where does he play? Because Curiel seems earmarked for center field next year. Stanfield doesn't really fit as a corner infield. He doesn't hit for enough power, so I'm not really sure what the future is for him. It's going to be an interesting call by both him and LSU. And then Zach Cowan, the right-handed pitcher who was such a huge part of this national championship team, went through a little bit of a slump in May. But the first 3 months of the season, he was lights out, and boy, was he there when they needed him in the postseason. Cowan can be a starter. He can be a reliever. I think it's a big get for him to come back for the 26 team. So that's...
Get him back?
Yeah.
I'd
That's a
say.
monster. He could be your Saturday starter. He could be your Sunday starter. He could be your closer. You can do all kinds of things with a guy with that kind of experience and that kind of ability. So, as every draft, some good, some bad, but LSU will have plenty of roster next year. And it's important to remember that there's still time left in the summer. The portal's closed as far as anybody entering it, but it doesn't mean they picked up a junior college pitcher late last night. They can still add some names to this team. So we'll see what happens there.
And how many, you get the guy's going to have a second year to try and develop off that highly recruiting class from last year.
Yeah. There's guys that
you see any or not way too early polls?
I haven't.
Okay.
I would expect that they'll be
Coming out now.
Yeah,
After see the draft.
maybe
hit.
late July, after the draft and after the most of the portal stuff is done. LSU wasn't overly active in the portal this year, but there's plenty of roster coming
have a
back.
lot.
Yeah, they got a lot coming
signing
back.
class.
Yes.
So
Yeah. So I would say good. Could have been better. Could have been worse. I'd say that about the draft
Well,
every year.
that's kind
Probably
of every year.
Yeah. So that's everybody that was kind of in play.
It'll be very good next year.
Yeah, I think so. I know that every year I ask the same thing. My first question about any LSU baseball team is always, who's the ace? Well, I know who the ace is. Okay,
Mardi Gras Mike.
They're going to run Case and Evans out there on Friday nights, and I feel real good about that. So start there. If I got a Friday night guy that I believe in, like I said, go from there. If the answer to that question is I don't know who the ace is, then generally one's in a little bit of trouble.
Evans and Cowan, both back?
Both back.
That's a good start.
And Evans up at the top of that,
Good start.
rotation.
Don't forget our friends over at Total Maintenance. It's hot. It's real hot, man. That thing breaks down. You got to call our friends at 480-1000, 480-1000. Total Maintenance, one of South Louisiana's oldest and largest AC and heating companies since 1980. My buddy Lucas Ragusa, who's been doing this for a long time, getting into those hot attics as a tech and managing and owning and just the whole bit. Had a big part in branching out to the New Orleans area. It's very successful down there and trying to expand the coverage here in Baton Rouge right now and taking care of it. What we like to say over at Total Maintenance, because AC companies are busy right now. It's their peak season, no doubt. Service today, every day. Same day service means you'll never sleep hot. You call today, you'll get service today. Factory authorized dealers for Carrier, American Standard, Daikin, and Rheem products as well. Authorized dealer for Generac and Cummins generators also. This is the time to kind of get those in order as we just around the corner is the storm season. So covering both Baton Rouge and New Orleans areas, but not compromising. We've got a completely different staff and office in both markets. It breaks down here in the Baton Rouge area, 480-1000. Total Maintenance, 480-1000.
Live at Mike Anderson's Live at Lunch, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Live at lunch.
Congratulations are in order for one of my favorite places to eat, Snow Seafood and Steaks, celebrating its 50th anniversary. That's right, since 1971, Snow's has been serving a wide assortment of menu items to please everyone. Steaks, seafood, gumbo, homemade soup, salads, specialty cocktails, great wine selection, and oh yes, the best white chocolate bread pudding that you'll find anywhere. It's the total dining experience. Happy 50th anniversary to my friends at Snow Seafood and Steak, Airline Highway at Highway 74 in Gonzales. By now you know that we do our show every other Tuesday at the Crown Town Room at Doe's Eat Place. The Crown Town Room is ideal for larger groups, or if you just want to watch the game on one of our 3 large TVs. The tamales are the most popular appetizer, but don't forget the seared tuna with the sriracha glaze for the perfect blend of sweet and spicy. You can't go wrong also with the flash fried oysters or the shrimp. The porterhouse is the perfect steak to share. Strip on one side, filet on the other, prepared at different temps if you like, bone in to maximize flavor. Doe's Eat Place on Government Street, just off Acadian in the heart of Mid-City.
This is Charles Henniger for Total Maintenance for AC and heating, generators, electricity, and plumbing. Total Maintenance is your one-stop sales and service shop for all of these needs. Service today, every day. That's their slogan at Total Maintenance, so nobody ever has to go to sleep hot. Over the years, Total Maintenance has expanded into the New Orleans area, as well as their offices in Baton Rouge with full staffs in both markets. Call 480-1000 in Baton Rouge or in New Orleans, 841-3300. Service today, every day at Total Maintenance.
Louisiana, you've got a new home for coverage of LSU, the New Orleans Saints, and the Southeastern Conference. LouisianaSports.net. LouisianaSports.net. Feature stories, opinion columns, recruiting updates, in-game reports. And it's all free. No paywalls, no annoying pop-up ads, no recurring subscriptions. Just the content you crave. From the folks that bring you 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge, it's LouisianaSports.net.
This is Charles Henniger for Home Bank. If you're tired of the impersonal, one-size-fits-all style of banking, you deserve a bank that delivers exceptional service and personalized attention to your needs. That's the Home Bank standard. Since 1908, Home Bank has been a trusted financial partner for your businesses and families because they go the extra mile to help you reach your goals. See for yourself why Home Bank is good for business and good for life. Stop by any South Louisiana, Houston, or Natchez area location or find out more at home24bank.com. Home Bank, member FDIC.
Do you know what you would do if you were in a car wreck? It's easy to panic when you or someone you care about is hurt in an accident. Who will pay the medical bills? Who will pay the car repair? Who will deal with the insurance companies for you? Protect your rights. You need someone you can trust. Call the law offices of O.C. Brown at 343-1111. The law offices of O.C. Brown will handle everything for you. 343-1111 or online at ocbrown.com. We want to be your law firm for a lifetime.
We're here to examine things that get better with age, like this bottle of Chateau Lafite Rothschild, vintage 1877. Age can make things more valuable, like this Picasso from his Blue Period, 1904. And treasured, like this Roto-Rooter jingle, 1954.
Roto-Rooter jingle?
Just listen to it.
Oh, Roto-Rooter, that's the name. And away go troubles down the drain. Roto-Rooter.
The timeless melody.
Roto-Rooter?
The lithe arrangement.
But it's a clog-busting company.
Wrong there. Roto-Rooter has grown into more than a clog-busting company. They're North America's largest full-service plumber and drain cleaner. And when you need Roto-Rooter, remembering this jingle can be priceless.
Roto-Rooter.
For all of your plumbing and drainage solutions, call Roto-Rooter in Baton Rouge at 925-8710. That's 925-8710.
Heading out to Las Vegas, deep in the desert, lives one man. One man of many sports bets. The one and only Andy Isco.
Andy, how you doing, buddy?
Jimmy, I'm doing fine. It's midsummer vacation with the All-Star break, which means it's football on my mind about 18 to 20 hours a day.
Yeah, man. It's the All-Star break, so well, I guess you have a little WNBA right now, and people are betting that a little bit. But anyway, it always used to be some, the enthusiastic gamblers at time to hit the beach. Nothing going on. Just go take your time and just relieve some of the stress and just kind of chill and do that stuff. But now it's kind of media days, and we're right in the middle of SEC media days in Atlanta. And boy, Matt sent me a picture last night. Said, business as usual here, downtown Sumo. So, some of the restaurants are maybe quality in name, but in execution in that area of the town, not so much. But anyway, we got them started off last week in Frisco, in the palatial, setting of Frisco, Texas, the Cowboys practice facility. And the Big 12 Media Days kicked it off for college football. We're certainly in a college football market, so we are diving in head first in a lot of them. Max and I will talk about his favorite. He thinks the Clemson's going to be the Iron Curtain or something. But we'll compare notes on that because they have a lot of highly thought of guys, but they have a lot of improvement to make as well. From last season. But Big 12, you got a college football win total that you're looking at out of the Big 12 conference.
I'm always been big on coaches and continuity, and occasionally they will have established themselves as either a very good or a very bad coach. Then they'll have that one outlier season, and everybody is either overly enthused because, wow, they're finally breaking through, or they're saying, it's a start of a decline, and they overreact. And I think the line makers may have done that a little bit with Oklahoma State. Former quarterback Mike Gundy, I think it's the 21st season. They had an awful lot of expectations last year with Texas and Oklahoma leaving the conference for the SEC. They had, I think, like about 18, 19 starters returning, evenly split basically between offense and defense. They won their first 3 games, and then everything fell apart, and they didn't win again. So I think it was about maybe about a 17 or 18-year streak of making to a bowl game was ended. They did it a lot in the transfer portal during the off season. We know Mike Gundy can coach. The fact that he's there at a place for 21 years, even if it is his alma mater, says that he can coach, because you don't last that long unless you have proven success, and you make money for the institution, which means winning bowl games and getting quality players, etc., and filling the stands, and he's done that. So the season total right now is 5, and we may have touched upon it a little bit last week that they had a lot of new teams in the conference last year, the Arizona teams, the Utahs, etc. It was a period of acclimation for everybody. I'm looking for Gundy to bounce back this year, and I think that this team is capable of at least getting 6 wins and becoming bowl eligible. That's why I played them at 5.
It snapped his 19-year winning streak at Oklahoma State in Stillwater. So 19 winning seasons in a row. Not non-losing seasons, but winning seasons, yes.
I think, if I recall, didn't they go, I think, 4 and 5 during that COVID season, so that doesn't really count.
Yeah. Without, yes. And this is his 21st year. He had a losing season his first year, and then 18 or 19 in a row. But they were 0-9 last year in the Big 12. I mean, they won their first 3 non-conference games. Somehow they figured a way to win that Arkansas game. That was a brutal game for Arkansas to lose at Stillwater. Thanks
for reminding me.
But slow to warm up, kind of a little bit Dabo Swinney light a little bit in his transfer portal, embracing the transfer portal. But this year they're overloaded. They might lead the country in amount of transfers that they have coming into their roster. Charlie, what I got to ask you is, usually on paper when, you have a disastrous season and then you clean house, whether you're forced to or not, but he basically cleaned up both coordinators and a buku assistants. That's pressure from above? Does he actually have legitimate pressure for a guy that's won so much at this program and one of their own?
What I think happened was, I think Mike Gundy hated last year's team. I mean, he gave us he left the breadcrumbs in August, right? About, hey, we got to quit talking about NIL. We got to quit talking about how much experience we got and all that stuff. We got to get focused on football. I don't think he liked last year's team at all. So I think he wanted to get rid of a lot of what was in that locker room a year ago, experienced or not. How much pressure he's getting from above, I don't know. It can get stale after a while there, but, I mean, the guy's won plenty. I think he wanted to clean that locker room out. I don't think he was forced to.
He did let us know.
Yeah, he left the breadcrumbs all through the month of August and said, look, man, I know we're experienced and we got all this, but we got to quit talking about NIL and we got to quit talking about – we got to start focusing on football. I don't think he liked that team at all.
Well, their offensive line did not help out Ollie Gordon, and what they tried to do with him did not help him out as well last year. But they remained intact. Tackle to tackle.
Yeah, they had all. Was it 19
it,
starters back out of 22 last year?
I'm not sure about that, but I know the whole offensive line in Ollie Gordon, and it was not the same. And it looked like they weren't even leaning on him last year. So the Oklahoma State Cup 5, and they go to Oregon non-conference this year, so they're not likely to go 3-0. But Tulsa and UT Martin should be okay. And it's the thing about the Big 12. Maybe not many super teams, but they don't have a lot of really bad teams. Just really poor teams in that conference as well.
Once Texas and Oklahoma left, it became a very, I won't say mediocre conference, but a very balanced conference from top to bottom. I mean, you have Baylor that has the occasional good year, Texas Tech the occasional good year, Iowa State. I think another team that disappointed that I'd like this year, again, even though I think they were like 9-4 or something, Kansas State. I like Kleiman as a coach. I like Kansas. I like the job that's been done over there with Leipold coming over from Buffalo a number of years ago. It's a balanced conference. I can't say that there's one team to beat. I will likely, and I haven't done it yet, but I'll be doing it sometime this week, I will probably also make a play on Oklahoma State to win that conference this year.
Wow. Phil Steele has Oklahoma State finishing 14th in this league this year, but he has Baylor.
Where did everybody have Arizona State finishing last?
Last. Had them last year. They had them 16th.
That's why
they're not even having a conference poll.
Took the words right out of my mouth.
Yes, Charlie's saying exactly that.
Yeah.
So they came up with a lot of other reasons for staying away from it. But, yes, the media in Frisco last year picked Arizona State to finish last. And this is where I like the 5-11 or 5-7 if we're going to do it. I'm fine with one from this league getting in, the champion, because it adds so much.
Yeah.
I mean, down the stretch, Arizona State, Colorado, Kansas State, Iowa State, I mean, all of the BYU, all of these games meant something coming down the stretch last year. And I think that's a good thing. I think you could do a lot worse than taking an automatic qualifier from a 16-team league. Your conference champion. I think you could do a lot worse than that.
Yeah, and I think that, and then again, a lot of it is about money and attracting eyeballs for ratings. And, you got 16 teams in the Big 12, and you get one team in there. That's still going to draw a lot of people either to root for or against that team. If you're a fan of that team, you're going to root for them. If you're a fan of the other 15 teams, you might root against them, but at least you'll get some interest by having at least a key member, a successful member of that conference in there. I would think that with the field expanding this year, it's hard for me to really see two teams coming out of that conference, and I may find it difficult to find two teams coming out of the ACC, assuming Clemson does what everybody expects them to do, although keep an eye on Duke. I really like a lot what happened with that program last year, and they might make some noise. They'll have some tests early, but I do like the Duke team, which had success for many years after decades of futility.
Can I ask you guys a question about the Big 12, since we were talking about them a second ago? UCF lost 6 games as a favorite last year, which I think was tops in the power conferences. Wow. What do you think about teams that were favored that many times and obviously underachieved according to the odds makers the following year, Andy? Does it play any? I know we're turning over rosters at a bigger rate than we ever have before. Does that mean anything to you? That stat?
It's still a game by game situation. But I would think that often a team like that, there might be some value in going on them, say, in the month of September, because they disappointed. Well, Oklahoma State's a perfect example. I think they were 3-9 against the spread. One of the 3 wins was that opening game against an FCS team, and then they were 0-9 in the conference. So there's obviously they cost people a lot of money. The expectation's high this year because of what we saw last year. So I think at the start of the season there may be value because the lines maker will be realizing what happened last year, and you may end up the herd mentality of saying, well, we lost a lot of money, or we made a lot of money going against OSU last year. We're going to do the same thing this year as far as that goes. And once we start seeing September unfold, and Oregon might not do much to show that OSU is all that improved this year because it's going to be tough to win up in Eugene. But I would think OSU and a team like Central Florida might be a team to look to play on because you might be getting maybe perhaps as much as an extra field goal in some of those games based upon what happened last year. But once you're 2-3 games into the season, this year starts counting a lot more.
Their win total 5.5, by the way. UCF talking about.
Yeah.
I liked them last year. Did his quarterback back again? The kid from Auburn?
Oh.
I mean, Ole Miss.
I gotta look that up.
I know we're getting it. I thought he was a Plumlee. John Reese Plumlee. He's got to be gone. Huh?
Yeah.
You really? Diego Vanderbilt's back.
No, I know.
Okay.
I'm laughing at the fact that these guys play for 15 years in college now.
I was a little higher on them.
He's gone.
Yeah.
For UCF, I think it's also a very positive thing with Scott Frost coming back. He sort of, second guessed maybe he shouldn't have left us when he did back a number of years ago to move up in stature. And I think that he was so good for that program and didn't have the success at Nebraska that was expected of him.
Clue.
I think that re-energized the program.
No clue what to predict how they were going to perform week in and week out last year. They were really all over the place. Really were.
He's been gone.
It was a new conference for so many teams in the Big 12 last year, and not everybody is going to adjust successfully. Some will, some won't. Arizona State did. UCF didn't. BYU did. Okay? And, everything is different. We learn, and one thing we do learn is that the teams that struggled poorly a year ago are probably going to be underrated early, and the teams that excelled, unless they excel every year, may be overrated a bit coming into the season.
Their projected starters are back up at Indiana last year, Taven Jackson. Remember he started that one game that you guy was hurt.
All right, Andy. Follow Andy on Twitter at VegasAndy711. We'll continue to look at some of your college football futures throughout the summer.
I'll be concentrating on the SEC in time for next week's show.
Very good. Very good. Thank you, Andy. Great stuff as always.
Thanks, guys.
All right. Don't forget our friends at K&M Automotive, the only place I take my vehicle, 7 a.m. to 4:30, 7:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. Monday through Friday. I'll get it straight. Ethan's Jeep, the lights won't go off when he's driving during the day. Got to bring it in, go schedule a time, come back and look at it. So whatever it is, engine light comes on, you don't know. We're not trained mechanics. We don't know what is happening. Bring it in to see Jason. That horror story of getting upcharged for unnecessary work, it's not going to happen over at K&M Automotive. That's why he has so much repeat business. Go by and check him out. It's the only place I take my vehicle on Seagan near Perkins, right across Seagan from Ambrosia Bakery, K&M Automotive.
Live at Mike Anderson's Live at Lunch, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Live at lunch.
The new location of Los Reyes Mexican Grill on Wesley across from Mike Anderson's. Man, the place looks great. Lots of indoor and outdoor seating options with plenty of big TVs to watch all your favorite games. All of the traditional Mexican cuisine with a great happy hour, 2:30 to 6:30, 7 days a week. Plus, $5 margaritas all day, all night on Wednesdays. Great spot to bring the baseball team in between games, just 5 minutes north of Traction and 5 minutes south of LSU. Los Reyes Mexican Grill, 1072 West Lee, near Nicholson.
When it comes to celebrating life, there's no better place than Ruffino's. With locations in Baton Rouge and Lafayette, Ruffino's is a steak, seafood, and Italian-inspired restaurant that focuses on the celebration of life, regardless of the occasion. Whether it's the food they serve or the service they provide, their goal is to ensure a remarkable experience for their guests that is always remembered. To view our menu, visit ruffinosrestaurant.com. Ruffino's, where Louisiana comes to celebrate life.
Now, everybody's been to Louis Cafe by campus. Heck, it's been around since over 80 years now. We're still doing delicious omelets like the Mitchell, cheesy grits, Big Cheesy Lou, and those Louis Original Cajun hash browns. We now offer a pickup window. Just call in your order at 346-8221. Give us 15 or 20 minutes, and we'll have it ready for you. Our hours are now 6:30 a.m. to 2:30 p.m., 7 days a week. So next time you visit campus, make it a point to stop by and visit an old friend. Louis Cafe, just outside the north gates of LSU.
Get the 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge mobile app powered by Bayou Ford and tap the microphone icon to send us your thoughts in an audio message. Your message could be played on air. Find our app in the Apple or Google Play Store. For direct links, visit 1045ESPN.com. Tigers, Saints, Southeastern Conference. All in one place. LouisianaSports.net. No paywalls, no article limits. It's just the coverage the Louisiana sports fans want. Bookmark it today. LouisianaSports.net.
This is Charles Hanniger for Coastal Capital Advisors, your full-service financial planners. When it comes to retirement, there are no two situations alike. So Coastal Capital Advisors will work with you, your business partners, your legal team, and tax professionals to make sure those goals are achieved. Coastal Capital Advisors will work for you. I know, because they work for me. For more information, contact Philip Fontenot and his great staff at 337-981-1376 or online at coastalcapitaladv.com. Advisory services provided by New Age Advisors, LLC, doing business as Coastal Capital Advisors as a registered investment advisor. Securities offered through New Edge Securities, Inc., member FINRA, SIPC.
Running a business can be difficult enough without the right relationship with your bank. With United Community Bank's local business bankers, you're not just a number, you're a partner. Contact Heath Meir, Nicole Glover, Hunter Creed, David Campbell, or David Henry to discuss how we can help your business today. United Community Bank, the local way to bank big. Locations from Baton Rouge to Golden Meadow. We've been serving the people of Southern Louisiana for over 60 years. United Community Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender. Go Automotive has a great selection of new cars: Chevy, GMC, Hummer, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram. You rather a pre-owned vehicle? Using our resources will help find you any vehicle that you're looking for. Our service department offers VIP service. You never have to come to the dealership. We'll pick up the vehicle at your home or office, drop off a loaner, service the vehicle, and return it when it's done. Mention my name, Jimmy Ott, for VIP pricing. The Chevy Tahoe I drive came from Go Automotive. That's Go Automotive in LaPlace and Plaquemine.
Louisiana, you've got a new home for coverage of LSU, the New Orleans Saints, and the Southeastern Conference. LouisianaSports.net. LouisianaSports.net. Feature stories, opinion columns, recruiting updates, in-game reports. And it's all free. No paywalls, no annoying pop-up ads, no recurring subscriptions. Just the content you crave. From the folks that bring you 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge, it's LouisianaSports.net. Live at lunch with Ott and Yanni from Mike Anderson Seafood on Lee Drive on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
They'll lose one program superstar on staff and replace him with another one. LSU gymnastics. The departure of Ashley Natt, who had coached for 5 seasons with LSU, replaced by the newest assistant coach for Jay Clark, Haley Bryant.
Haley Stan? I thought that was kind of rumored, huh?
Yeah. We felt like this was had a good chance to happen. It happened officially a little while ago. You can make a very good argument that Haley Bryant is the most accomplished athlete in LSU history for what she did.
Well, because you can get so many more national championships in gymnastics, you kind of quantify it a little bit.
Yeah.
But
30
she's up there.
33 times as an All-American, 2-time NCAA champion, and she was, I think this is kind of like winning the Heisman Trophy in the national championship. She won the all-around title in 24. The team won the national championship. You're the best on
That's
on
the borough.
on the best.
Yeah.
18 perfect tens in her
and then
career.
like a guy like Bob Pettit did so much after LSU, and all the NBA teams, Shaq as well.
Haley Bryant back on staff at LSU. Hour number 2 straight ahead at Mike Anderson's.
Live at lunch.
We're here to examine things that get better with age, like this bottle of Chateau Lafite Rothschild, vintage 1877. Age can make things more valuable, like this Picasso from his blue period, 1904. And treasured, like this Roto-Rooter jingle, 1954.
Roto-Rooter jingle.
Just listen to it.
Oh, Roto-Rooter, that's the name. And away go troubles down the drain. Roto-Rooter.
A timeless melody.
Roto-Rooter?
The lithe arrangement.
But it's a clog-busting company.
Wrong there. Roto-Rooter has grown into more than a clog-busting company. They're North America's largest full-service plumber and drain cleaner. And when you need Roto-Rooter, remembering this jingle can be priceless.
Roto-Rooter.
For all of your plumbing and drainage solutions, call Roto-Rooter in Baton Rouge at 925-8710. That's 925-8710.
If you're near the north side of campus, I need to remind you about a couple of longtime favorites. Highland Coffee's the original specialty coffee shop in Baton Rouge since the 1980s. My personal favorite. Love getting my cappuccino from their friendly, knowledgeable staff. Roasted right in the shop. Louis Cafe for breakfast and lunch 7 days a week. The Mitchell omelet, Cajun hash browns, Big Cheesy Lou, all served up in that famous open kitchen atmosphere. In Tigertown since 1941. A couple of great spots. Highland Coffee's and Louis Cafe just outside the north gates of LSU.
Since the 1930s, Supreme Rice has delighted their customers for all of your favorite South Louisiana dishes. Whether you like the brown, long grain, medium grain, jasmine, or the new parboiled rice, Supreme Rice makes your favorite dishes even better. They even have a healthy low glycemic rice, a great option for diabetics and those who have high insulin resistance. Supreme Rice is proud to be part of the Climate Smart program, which promotes water conservation and reduces methane emissions so future generations of Louisiana farmers can enjoy the same benefits. For more information and great recipes, find them online at supremerice.com.
With all of the financial headlines, are you worried if your retirement savings will last? The market's ups and downs can keep you guessing, especially if you're approaching retirement or considering it. If you have more questions and answers about what's next, let's work together to help ensure you're prepared for your journey. After all, retirement isn't the end of the trek, it's a new beginning. Stop by your local Edward Jones advisor. Tex Morris on Jefferson. Edward Jones, member SIPC.
The Grand Bayou Casino, conveniently located off I-10 at exit 139 in Gross-Ted, offers the latest video poker machines 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Got a great staff at the Grand Bayou Casino. Our inviting staff will greet you with complimentary coffee and sodas as you enjoy listening to the curated tunes in our comfortable seating. Make the trip to Grand Bayou Casino, where players are welcome. The Grand Bayou Casino, I-10 at the Gross-Ted exit. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, call 1-877-770-STOP. The Grand Bayou Casino.
This is Charles Hanniger for Coastal Capital Advisors. When it comes to retirement, no two situations are alike, so Coastal Capital Advisors will tailor a plan for your family's needs, no matter your age or your financial situation. The bottom line is Coastal Capital Advisors will work with you and build a lifetime relationship. I know, because they work for me. For more information, contact Philip Fontenot and his staff at 337-981-1376 or online at coastalcapitaladv.com. Advisory services provided by New Age Advisors, LLC, doing business as Coastal Capital Advisors as a registered investment advisor. Securities offered through New Age Securities, Inc., member FINRA, SIPC.
Twin Peaks is the best in the game. Here, it's bigger game days and bolder fight nights. I mean, where else can you find a scratch kitchen that always comes in clutch? Every day, from lunch to late night. Only at Twin Peaks, the #1 sports bar.
Insurance companies have teams of professionals to fight your claim. If you want to know what your case is really worth, I'm Spencer Callahan. I'd like to help.
Spencer Callahan is the one to see. Call 387-2323.
LA filing number 16-7970.
WNXX Jackson, KNXX Donaldsonville, and WDGL HD2 Baton Rouge. This hour brought to you by Spencer Callahan Injury Lawyers. LA 21-12681. Offices in Baton Rouge. Live at lunch, first class.
I want a seat in first class where I was booked and ticketed over a month ago.
Second class.
No man should be subjected to the indignity of being labeled or treated like a second-class citizen.
And no class.
Life had become like school on Sunday. No class. I'll tell you what then. Why don't you call me sometime when you have no class?
First class, second class, and no class. Brought to you by Supreme Rice. Buy local with Louisiana-based Supreme Rice since 1936.
Here at Mike Anderson's, Wesley at Nicholson, first class, second class, no class. All right, I gotta start with first class with some golf, women's golf. Okay, Avion Championship from France last week. That's a major on the LPGA Tour. Grace Kim. You ever heard of Grace Kim, Max? You're the golf guy.
Not very well.
Really?
No, I knew of her. Don't know her game.
24-year-old from Australia. Okay, had won some tournaments but had not won a major. Double bogeys 12 on Sunday and is 4 shots off the lead. Going to the last couple of holes, she comes home eagle, birdie, eagle in the playoff to win the championship. And as remarkable as that sounds, the birdie came after she put a tee shot in the water. So you put your tee shot in the water on a playoff hole, that's it, right? You're done. She chipped in to make birdie and
I think
extend
it was her second shot that went in the water.
It was the second shot in the water. I'm sorry,
yeah.
I might have messed that up. Eagle, birdie, eagle. Her highest finish in a major before this was 13th. So this is kind of a career breakthrough. But watching the highlights of this, eagle, in the water, come back, make a birdie, eagle to win a major.
7 under in her last 6 holes. I was watching the end of this. I couldn't believe just how great she played. And she was going up against a big name in women's golf, Gino Titicun.
3 majors, right?
She has not won a major, but she's 22 and she's a phenom. Like
Okay,
she's just waiting. She's been on the doorstep.
I misread that then. I
Has
thought
not
she'd
won a
won.
major
Yeah.
yet. That's kind of the storyline there. She's like a much younger version of Tommy Fleetwood, and then she keeps putting herself in the mix and hasn't won, at least in a major to this point. But I was curious to see if she'd break the door down and finally win. But Grace Kim was outstanding. It was really good golf there in France.
You watch golf every week, right? And you come down. How many times you say, well, they got a hole out here to have a chance, or hole out here to chip it in to keep it going. How many times do they actually do that?
7 under through 6.
Yeah, almost
Just don't see
never.
that
So
down the stretch of the
give
major.
her credit. Second class, good with a chance to be great. Well, this guy's been great already. He's got a chance to be historic. The big dumper, Cal Raleigh, won the home run derby last night. I can't tell you I watched a whole lot of this. I watched a little bit of it in passing. This is not all-star stuff, just not my thing. But I did think it was cool that his dad was pitching to him, and I had forgotten that he was the head coach at Tennessee, prior to this, and his brother was catching, so I thought that was really cool. What I'm more curious about is, can Raleigh keep this up in the second half? And ordinarily, I'm not big, well, they're on pace to do this, they're on pace to do that. We're 96 games in. If you're still on pace, I'm at least going to give you a little bit of lip service. The last 2 years, Raleigh has hit 30 and 34 home runs for the season. He's got 38 at the break. Can he get to 60? The first thing I ask Jimmy is Raleigh going to wear down? Okay, he has caught 94 of Seattle's 96 games, so he's out there almost every night. And the last 2 years, he's caught 145 and 153 games. For a catcher, this guy don't miss time. He was also a Gold Glove last year in the American League, so he's not just back there because he can hit. He can also field it pretty good.
Well, I I would assume that if they put him back there, that's a lot.
That's a ton.
You usually give your catchers considerably more time off than that.
So he's projected to play 159 games for this season, which is not all that far off from what he did last year, and he's projected to hit 64 home runs. Can he hit 26 home runs in the second half? Well, did he wear down last year? Last year he hit 38 home runs. He hit 24 before the break and 14 after. So if you hit 40, it's right just under 40% of your home runs. If he hits 40% of the home runs he hit in the first half last year, he's going to go over 60, which for a catcher is absolutely unheard of. I know we're going to look later at the MVP odds, and Judge is still a favorite.
Well,
their power numbers are very similar. Judge has got him by about 100 points in batting average. The runs scored, the home runs, the RBIs are all right there next to each other. And if they finish with similar numbers for the year to what they got now, Judge is going to win. But is there anything more valuable than a catcher that hits like this and plays Gold Glove defense? I mean, his defensive numbers are a little bit off.
Mike Piazza was prety big.
He was.
Pretty big deal, and he was not that great.
Behind the plate,
no.
They moved him later in his career.
You got to think he's 28 right now. This was a little bit of did indicate a little bit, 27, 30, and 34 home runs the last few years. To get to 40 is not super, super unheard of, but 38 at the break is way ahead of pace. He's not likely to maintain this pace, but he's going to give 60 a run, and he's they don't have a whole lot of games where they can take off. But the old Craig Biggio thing has to come into mind. At what point, man, we gotta preserve this guy's bat long term, and do you do that for even a Gold Glove catcher? Because if he keeps this pace up that many games, his career will be cut short. And those knees going to give out, man. I mean,
not only the long term, but Jimmy, the short term. Do you rest this guy? They are the
have
third.
to.
They're the third wild card team right now. Okay, so they're a playoff contender, and you want this. You need this guy's bat in September. I mean, are there dog days?
The thing, some of these guys who participate in this home run contest have a little bit of a
messes with them a little bit.
A little bit, because it is a different swing. It does, and where opposed a lot of guys are just taking the 4 days off, and so I don't. No, you better lighten the load a little bit, and he might be one of those guys who throw back, and that's why he's so highly thought of, not just by all the baseball fans now, but certainly the clubhouse. I mean, he's going out there every day. He can't, but you gotta give him a break. You got to space it out and give him a little load management, just a little, at a spot where you really need it. Yes.
And he hit for both sides in the Derby last night.
I will
say a little mini no class though to the first round tiebreaker. I don't know if you saw this, Charlie.
I did.
It goes to 10 decimal points to determine what the longest home run was.
It was by 0.6 of an inch.
It was by less than a tenth of a foot.
Okay.
Is the longest longest home run tiebreaker over Brent Rooker, which nobody really knew the rules until it was announced, kind of at the end, that he had advanced over Brent Rooker. How do you not have a hit off, just a little tiebreaker that would be fun rather than 470.61714524141 feet? How do you know that? Come on.
Stat Tracker's that accurate?
There's no way.
I mean, I'm with you there. And like I said, honestly, I don't really care who wins the slam dunk contest or the home run contest. It's just it's window dress, and it's fine. It's good for the fans, but I don't particularly watch a whole lot of this stuff. But Raleigh's season is fascinating to me because you get a catcher that approaches 60 home runs, and for the record, I think he's probably going to come up a little bit short. I think what Jimmy's saying is they're going to manage him a little bit, give him a few more days off in August and September. And if I were the Mariners, I'd do the same thing if I'm in playoff contention. But I do think he hits 50.
I think the biggest story out of the All-Star game is when you put a guy with 25 innings as an All-Star. That's just that.
Oh, from Milwaukee.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, he's 5 starts, 25 innings.
Yeah.
No. And, and I know it's more of an open door than it used to be, but it's one of those things, how many All-Star games did he make when we start stacking up their career? You know, how many All-Star games did he make? You know, Skeens had 66 innings. I mean, that's more. I think one of the big things, though, Skeens starting his second All-Star game, pretty damn good start. It's not everything. It's half of the season. We've seen some stiffs start in All-Star games, whether it's Rick Russell, Atlee Hammaker, or others. You know, that
Jack Armstrong's the one that gets me in 1990 for Cincinnati.
But there's been some really good ones to start the All-Star game as well. And so Skeens to have two of them, that's pretty damn good.
Piazza, the best hitting catcher ever.
Johnny Bench.
Johnny Bench. I mean, make an argument. Piazza's top home run season in his career. He did it twice.
I think the other thing
was 40.
Was the best. Who's the best switch power hitter since Cal Raleigh? Eddie Murray is certainly a guy. He's in the Hall of Fame. He's got
switch hitter. Chipper Jones.
Yeah. There you go. There you go.
Murray, Jones, and Mantle are considered probably the best three switch hitters of
Big Dumper.
Of all time. Big Dumper's fun to watch, man. And I like the moment after the thing.
And a bunch.
With his family.
And listen, we talk about Seattle. They got the rotation. They can't score any runs. I mean, they would rival Pittsburgh in the previous couple of years. He has. You want to talk about being valuable to your team? He's huge for them.
Yeah. No class. I've been saving this one for a couple of weeks because I've been on vacation. Hugh Freeze and John Cohen were talking a little bit this summer. John Cohen is the athletic director at Auburn. Hugh Freeze, of course, is the head coach. And I'm sure they got some of these quotes off the golf course because apparently that's where Freeze spends most of his time these days. They don't believe that the other schools are operating by the same rules as Auburn in regards to NIL. This is Hugh Freeze saying this. You want to talk about the wrong messenger. This is the same Hugh Freeze that thinks that, hey, man, everybody else is not playing by the rules. This is the same Hugh Freeze that was charged at Ole Miss with recruiting violations, impermissible benefits for players, car loans and cash back when all of that was illegal. At least one recruit was suspected of getting help on a college entrance exam. And Ole Miss started calling reporters, telling them that all of these things had happened under Houston Dale Nutt. So what happened? They reopened the investigation. Laramie Tunsil did his famous draft night deal. In between smoking, he was talking about how Ole Miss had paid all of his bills. Ole Miss withdrew from the bowl consideration. Then the NCAA sent him a notice of allegations, not monitoring his assistants, lack of not properly controlling the program. The allegations came out to 21, 4 under Nutt, 17 under Freeze, but who's counting? They continued to recruit during this investigation. Ole Miss players, including Shea Patterson, who was a quarterback, said Ole Miss officials lied to them about the severity of the pending charges, and Nutt sued Ole Miss for defamation, contending that Freeze and school officials conspired to smear him about false claims of the charges. Ole Miss settled that lawsuit in less than 3 months and issued a public apology to Nutt because of what Freeze had said. But, that wasn't the best part. The best part was the discovery of the lawsuit because they filed, Nutt's attorneys did, for the Freedom of Information request for calls. Freeze made on his university-issued cell phone, thinking that they would find impermissible calls to recruits. What they found was impermissible call to hookers, a concerning pattern of calls after he arrived in Oxford. Freeze said it was a misdial, except that the records indicate that it was 12 calls to this escort service over 33 months. You ever dial the wrong number 12 times?
Absolutely.
Jimmy?
Happens all the time.
The chancellor and the athletic director gave Freeze an ultimatum: resign or be fired. He left there. The NCAA put Ole Miss on a pretty significant probation back when the NCAA used to do that. Ole Miss vacated 33 wins. 27 of Freeze's were stripped from the books. I'm not going to tell you everybody's playing by the same set of rules with NIL. It's a pretty complicated thing. State laws are superseding some of these guidelines where there are guidelines. It's a big mess. I don't want to hear about it from Hugh Freeze, okay? You want to talk about the wrong man? I don't want to hear anything about rules violations from Hugh Freeze. I don't want to hear anything about ethics from Hugh Freeze. I mean, the guy who's got scripture
on one part of his phone where he updates his Twitter feed or his Facebook page and has calls to escort services on the call log of his phone. I don't want to hear from that guy. I don't want to hear from that guy. First of all, I don't want to be lectured to in the first place about spirituality, okay? Please, stop. But I really don't want to hear about rules violations from a guy whose resume is littered with this stuff. And not just garden variety recruiting violations. I mean, Lord, those go on from here to the end of the earth. But they caught you calling the prostitutes, man. I'm sorry. You got to be quiet about this. So I don't want to hear about, and I really don't want to hear, not that Cohen was involved in this, but I got also not my favorite person, and we've gone through that before too. Hugh Freeze, no class.
Anisimova. Only thing worse than her performance on the biggest stage in tennis, center court in a Wimbledon final, when Breakfast in Wimbledon was moved back 2 hours to accommodate a larger American audience, was my handicap on it. Charlie? But it's crazy. How many, the number one player in the world, then it's not even close, is Sabalenka, and she beat her. Not only did she beat her in a really good match, beat her at her game, out-hit her, but this is now, she has a 6-3 record against the best player in women's tennis. So surely she would go over and take care of it. But the problem was, one, center court fade, center court rush fade. I mean, did the British storm the center court that I didn't see and carry her off? Did I miss that?
For those that don't pay attention to tennis, explain what you're talking about, what happened on Saturday.
She got beat 6-0, 6-0, 6-love, and it was I mean, it was as if the stage got to her. She could not do anything. She had a history of depression, took some time off, and things like that. Why you tied in? Because it seemed like she was having some nerves, some mental barriers here. To get off to a bad start was not a super surprise. To stay in that funk with so much ability that she has was completely, it's just so disappointing. And she's disappointed. She's crying and switch over. Deep into the match. The match is over at this point.
Yeah.
It wasn't like early. But no, I've seen them getting tears in the trophy presentation after it's over. But man, it's such a feel-good story, and then it to happen like this. But one thing too, and the part of the 6-3 is that she's not intimidated by Sabalenka, and maybe I didn't factor in just the matchup. You know, styles make fights kind of deal, and she's just more equipped because she's beat her and she could bang with Sabalenka, that maybe she's just a bad matchup for Sabalenka. And that's
okay.
And I said, I hope that's not just it. You know, but damn, plus $2, $2.20, something like that. But an absolute no-show. An absolute was the worst. Because we've seen some sort of wild cards get there. This girl's a kind of a, she's more of a comeback story than an underdog story. And she's got ability. She was highly thought of at a young age.
A double bagel in the final.
And it was, did she have a game point? I think she had one game point. I remember one.
I didn't watch
one. I watched the whole thing.
I seem to remember Steffi Graf at the height of her powers beat somebody 6-0, 6-0 in the final, but it was somebody who wasn't supposed to be there.
Exactly.
It was like,
Exactly.
And that's the only two in the final of a major double bagel.
At Wimbledon, I think this is the first one ever.
I saw something since 1913 or something like that.
That's the Wimbledon one, I think.
Graf double bagel somebody to French.
I think it was a French.
It was a French.
I think it was a French. And I remember that one, too. And Graf, she won some women's finals 1-1.
Yeah.
She won a few of them.
She
they
was
were
dominant in that period.
Martina and Graf and Sellas, they won some finals in like 45 minutes.
In that period from where Martina kind of aged out and after Sellas got, Graf just blew the field away for about 5 years, couldn't be touched.
Holden Mayo can't spell Wimbledon, but I got him on it.
Yeah.
I mean, Max said, I didn't know they could grow strawberries in England. Okay, well, I mean, it's kind of a staple, but
Freshly delivered every morning.
But did you get on it too?
I did.
Yeah, I mean, I got half a Baton Rouge on her.
Well, I'm glad I was out of town,
My phone was blowing up. My phone, I mean, I took a whole crew down with me, Charlie.
You take more. You've taken more grief over tennis picks because when we went to the bowl without you that weekend.
Freddie Sabalenka?
Yeah, they were waiting on your ass.
Yeah.
They were like, where's Sabalenka's fan club?
Roll Tide Freddie.
Yeah.
I gave Sabalenka. But that was like minus 280. This is at least plus 220. And then the other thing, and I understand it's kind of a little bit of a soft time in sports, but damn it, if you don't give a crap about your regular season, NBA, do not try and tell me this is the Pistons and Celtics playing right now.
No.
This G League rookie, whatever, who are these guys? I mean, am I supposed to really give a crap about Summer League if your regular season doesn't even make? This Summer League stuff is AJK, bro. Put it in the big dumper.
Roughly half of the players in the summer league are playing without a contract. Yes. I read that over the weekend. It's they get expenses basically to go and play and try to turn ahead.
It's unbelievable.
First class, second class, no class. Brought to you by Supreme Rice. SupremeRice.com. Down in Southwest Louisiana since the 1930s. Get you some Supreme Rice. The jasmine, the parboiled rice, the long grain, the medium grain, the brown. Staple over at the Outhouse, especially on Monday nights. Coming, obviously, football season on the horizon here for your jambalayas during tailgating, early parts of the season, your red beans, your white beans. Make it with Supreme Rice. You're going to save a little bit of money. You're going to support our Louisiana farmers. Part of the Climate Smart program, reducing methane emissions and promoting water conservation. See the Climate Smart package labeling on the packaging for Supreme Rice. For more information and great recipes, go to SupremeRice.com. Live at Mike Anderson's Live at Lunch, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Live at lunch.
The Grand Bayou Casino, conveniently located off I-10 at exit 139 in Grostead, offers the latest video poker machines 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Got a great staff at the Grand Bayou Casino. Our inviting staff will greet you with complimentary coffee and sodas as you enjoy listening to the curated tunes in our comfortable seating. Make the trip to Grand Bayou Casino, where players are welcome. The Grand Bayou Casino, I-10 at the Grostead exit. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, call 1-877-770-STOP. The Grand Bayou Casino.
Have you been arrested or even issued a traffic ticket? Everyone makes mistakes. Hi, I'm Dana Brown from the law offices of O.C. Brown. If you find yourself in an unfortunate situation with the law, call us today and we can help you resolve your problem, whether it's just a traffic matter or something more serious. No criminal matter is too big or too small for us to aggressively and effectively represent you. Before making any decisions, call us at 225-343-1111 for your free consultation. You can also visit us at ocbrown.com. The law offices of O.C. Brown, your law firm for a lifetime.
We're here to examine things that get better with age, like this bottle of Chateau Lafite Rothschild, vintage 1877. Age can make things more valuable, like this Picasso from his Blue Period, 1904. And treasured, like this Roto-Rooter jingle, 1954.
Roto-Rooter jingle?
Just listen to it.
Oh, Roto-Rooter, that's the name. And away go troubles down the drain. Roto-Rooter.
A timeless melody.
Roto-Rooter?
The lithe arrangement.
But it's a clog-busting company.
Wrong there. Roto-Rooter has grown into more than a clog-busting company. They're North America's largest full-service plumber and drain cleaner. And when you need Roto-Rooter, remembering this jingle can be priceless.
Roto-Rooter.
For all of your plumbing and drainage solutions, call Roto-Rooter in Baton Rouge at 925-8710. That's 925-8710.
The Live at Lunch with Ott and Hanny Restaurant Club. Sammy's Grill on Highland Road. A hometown favorite for tailgating and watching LSU games since 1988. Snow Seafood and Steak for over 50 years on Airline, Highway, and Highway 74 in Gonzales. Dozy Place for hand-cut steaks on Government Street and Mid-City. Louis Cafe, a Baton Rouge landmark since 1941. Just outside the north gates of LSU. Fin Bomb, sushi, burrito, poke, ramen at Burbank and Lee.
Congratulations are in order for one of my favorite places to eat, Snow Seafood and Steaks, celebrating its 50th anniversary. That's right, since 1971, Snow's has been serving a wide assortment of menu items to please everyone. Steaks, seafood, gumbo, homemade soup, salads, specialty cocktails, great wine selection, and oh yes, the best white chocolate bread pudding that you'll find anywhere. It's the total dining experience. Happy 50th anniversary to my friends at Snow's Seafood and Steak, Airline Highway at Highway 74 in Gonzales.
When it comes to celebrating life, there's no better place than Ruffino's. With locations in Baton Rouge and Lafayette, Ruffino's is a steak, seafood, and Italian-inspired restaurant that focuses on the celebration of life, regardless of the occasion. Whether it's the food they serve or the service they provide, their goal is to ensure a remarkable experience for their guests that is always remembered. To view our menu, visit ruffinosrestaurant.com. Ruffino's, where Louisiana comes to celebrate life.
Need more space? Workbox LLC has the storage solutions you can count on. Whether you're a homeowner, commercial contractor, or industrial business, we have the space for you. Our secure, versatile storage units are ready to meet your needs. Contractors, keep your site organized and efficient. Store your materials with us and access them anytime you need. Businesses, industries of any size, Workbox LLC is your trusted partner for flexible, safe storage. Workbox 343-4886 and workboxllc.com.
Live at lunch with Ott and Yanni from Mike Anderson Seafood on Lee Drive on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
And we're brought to you by the Thibodaux Store, 900 St. Patrick Highway down in Thibodaux. Their sister property, the Pierre Part Store, for over 113 years down in Pierre Part. Look, if you're looking to grill, this is exactly where you should be doing your shopping, because all the top grills, you can shop online at thethibodauxstore.com. All of the top brands of your grills, your Big Green Egg cookers, your Shop Pit Bosses, your Shop Charbroils, all of them available at thethibodauxstore.com. Also right now, DeWalt chainsaws are on special. The Greenworks brushless pruner saws, if you're working out in your yard. Got your patio all squared away. You're looking to add some furniture. Nice specials right now on Outdoor Expressions patio furniture to add to your patio area. All your gardener starting kits, your potting saws, your cedars and spreaders, all of them available right now at thethibodauxstore.com. Head down to the coast going fishing. Lots of fishing gear. Custom crawfish pots, custom jambalaya pots, all of it there at the Thibodaux Store. Open daily till 5:30. And again, online it's thethibodauxstore.com. Jimmy, I didn't get a chance to listen to all of every show while I was gone, but driving down, I did hear a good bit of a couple of shows while I was gone. It seems like Max has been peppering you about Clemson an awful lot. This is going to go on all August, right? He's just going to tell us how good Clemson is, right?
Max, in Clemson's got one of the top defensive tackles in the country. Going to be a high pick, returning. Got one of the top defensive ends returning. Going to be a high pick. So Max, besides that, or including that, why you think this is such a historically good, defensive line unit?
So I would start off with Peter Woods, their defensive tackle, who is thought of as a top 10 potential pick in the NFL draft next year. He didn't play a whole lot last year. He was injured. He got injured on a chop block early in the season, so that took him out for about a month and a half. Came back, had another head injury, so he only had 3 sacks, but it was in very select amount of time. He was banged up a lot last year, so you have to take some of his stats, and kind of incorporate that in. But they just return a lot of guys. They didn't return a whole lot of starters last year, and you liked what you saw out of them overall last year. Their other defensive end, you mentioned T.J. Parker. He's viewed as a top 5, top 10 potential edge rusher in next year's class. And then I mentioned the front 7, specifically the defensive line, but they've got A.J. Terrell's younger brother, Avion, who's considered a prospect as well. It's their entire defense, really. Yes, yeah, he's a corner, but their entire secondary is pretty good. Their entire defense is very good. I think it's the best defense that LSU will play this season. And they improved to me as the season went on last year against some decent offenses. Yeah, SMU was able to move the ball against them in the SEC title game, but ultimately I just think this is the best defensive unit that LSU will play this season, including in SEC play. And
it also said it was comparisons made to that defensive line that they had that was so good back in 2017, 2018. 2018.
All those guys were drafted up at the
Dexter
top.
Lawrence, first rounder.
Yeah.
Christian Wilkins, first rounder. Cleveland Farrell, first rounder. Austin Bryant was a later round pick, but all four of them were drafted. The Clemson Tigers gave up, was it 4.7 yards per rush last year? That's their worst yards per rush defense in 25 years.
Really?
At the school, yes.
That predates Dabo by a pretty good bit.
Yeah,
about
25 years. So they were 42nd, giving up 23 points a game. They were 69 in total defense, giving up 374 yards a game. And so they got a lot of improvement to make, is what I'm saying, man. So by comparison, the 2018 team, if we were trying to put in the same category, number one in the country, total defense. Number one in scoring defense.
Yeah.
I mean, it wasn't even close. And the year before, the 2017 year, this is why we going into the year, and you remember that defensive front for Clemson is going to be really good. Well, they're number two in both scoring defense and total defense.
They won the national championship the year before that, right? In 16. Then they won in 16 and 18. I got my years right. I think it was 16 and 18. I think I got my years right. Anyway, yes, all of those were.
So they have a lot of, that does. I'm glad you brought that up because one of their key guys missed some time last year.
So that was
that was part of it. But damn it, I mean, you got to show me more than this to start putting this group in the same category. No, it's not. They're not in the same category as that group. Don't tell me it's like that group. So they got to do it, and they got to do it at a very high level to even come close to being in this group. They can be very average and still get to the playoff. They could be very average and win this league. And this is where Sankey, to me, and if Ole Miss, South Carolina, Alabama, and Sankey have the Reds the most, because SMU, they get in. Their best win is at Louisville. Their second best win is at home against Pitt. No, you don't get in for that. When you play in the ACC, who was the best team in the ACC? Well, the champion was Clemson, right?
Yeah.
They didn't play them. Miami was second best. They didn't play them. Okay, Notre
Dame, regular season.
Notre Dame doesn't. Notre Dame doesn't play. They play 6 games. They didn't play them, and so then when you play Clemson, you lose on a neutral field. So I could see why. I mean, what the hell? Who did they beat? So this is that has to be Sankey's biggest source of being pissed off. But man, I want to pump the brake. Hey man, show me a little bit with Clemson with all of this hype and all of this ballyhoo. Man, bro, we got a long way to go before you throw it in the same breath as that special group that they had, which was clearly that put them over the top. All the SEC champions in this era, the last 20 years, they had great defensive lines. Clemson, Florida State were built like them. To say this defensive line is in that same category, that's just not accurate.
They returned 8 starters in 2019. They returned 9 this year. Worth mentioning, they add Will Helt, the other edge rusher.
2018 was their best year.
Correct. 2018, they returned 8 starters going into that season.
Yeah, of a team that was number 2 in scoring defense and number 2 in total defense. This team was 42 and 69.
I will say they added Will Helt from Purdue, edge rusher as well, pretty highly thought of. So they actually hit the portal a little bit for a change. Dabo did. They also bring in a new defensive coordinator. I think we all respect Tom Allen, the job he did at Penn State last year. So they've got a new defensive play caller. I like this Clemson defense. I understand that maybe their stats statistically for the season didn't look great last year, but you talk to the Todd McShays, you talk to the NFL guys, and they're just glowing about this team.
How good was NC State's defense that year? They had Mario Williams and the Nick Chubb.
Gosh, that was.
How good were they?
All the way back to 2005 now, I think.
Okay, well.
Yeah. I remember them being pretty good.
You do?
I'm blanking. I mean,
I remember the draft going, damn, I don't remember NC State's defense being that good. That's what I remember.
Chubb and Williams were in the same draft?
Yeah.
Were they? Okay. I had forgotten that. I was just so excited that the Saints were getting Reggie Bush.
Right. I mean, but you can't be worst in 25 years and say this is something to build upon. I mean, I've gotta see something. And look, I think it's one of the more intriguing units to watch. And we're gonna see. Well, LSU plays them in a tough spot because week one, defense is ahead of the offenses, right? Okay.
Yes, they should be.
But I mean, maybe this is the best roster in the transfer portal era. Because Dabo Swinney was so, right, maybe so, that they have a chance, and they got an experienced quarterback. But you got to, it's on paper and paper only right now.
I think Clemson's talented. I like the coach. I like the quarterback. And that it's going to be a hard place to play, and LSU's had problems in openers. But if we're going to evaluate Clemson, what did they do last year? What did they really do last year? You're going to tell me they made the playoffs. Okay, that's fine. Who did they beat? They beat NC State. Was NC State good? They were not. They had a losing record. They beat throw out the rental wins. The power conference teams they played. They played Stanford. They beat them. Was Stanford good? No, they were 3-9. They beat Florida State, who was 2-10. They beat Wake Forest, who was 4-8. They beat Virginia, who was 5-7. They beat Virginia Tech, who was 6-7. They beat Pitt, who was 7-6. This is the one power conference team that they beat in the regular season. 24-20, and it was all they could do.
No, Klubnik had a 50-yard touchdown run with about 4 minutes, 2 minutes, 4 minutes to go, something like that.
Now, they beat SMU in the ACC championship game by 3. SMU went to the playoffs and got thumped.
60-yarder at the gun.
Yeah. Now, who they played that was good? Played Georgia. They lost by 30.
0-3 in the SEC.
They lost by 31. They played South Carolina. They lost by 3. They played Texas in the playoff. They lost by 28. And then they lost to Louisville by 12.
Max, you watched those games closely. You thought their defense was that good against Texas and SMU?
Gave up 31 to SMU.
38 to
SMU
Texas.
was a tough game for them. Jennings kind of torched them a little bit in that game. I thought Texas, they looked better in that game. I didn't think they were terrible. They gave up 30 points. 38 points, but
I mean, the guy with the running back ran by him like they weren't even there.
When they played anybody
they
with
went
a
up
heartbeat,
and down
they
the
kind of
field.
got it
How many
handed to
yards did they give up? They gave up a lot of yards, I remember, in the Texas game. Klubnik was the one that kept them in it.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not saying that this is going to be a game that LSU should win for sure. It's a close game. But when they played anybody with a heartbeat last year, they got it handed to them.
6.1 yards per carry in that playoff game against Texas. That was not good.
That's not good, man.
Look.
I think it's a good. Are these guys likely to be drafted in the first round? Those two guys. Yes. Right.
Yes. I'll answer for him.
Yeah. So is this maybe? Do they have a shot to be good? Yes. But to be a dependable, a certain unit, and I guess what in college sports is, but this is a different feel from going out of 17 with that Clemson defensive front. And going into 18 and coming into this year, they have a chance, and I want to watch them, but because they got some stars and they're bringing in some help, and this might be the best they've been up front at Clemson in the transfer portal era. But man, let's not. I mean, don't even try to throw them back with that group. That group. Remember the Notre Dame playoff game? Notre Dame couldn't get a first down.
Right. They completely.
I mean, they were just because T-Law was trying to get. I don't know. They weren't doing much on offense either.
All that being said, I think Clemson's going to be a really tough game for LSU. But
that's a tough place to win.
It's a tough place to win.
And they've
first
lost.
Game. Yeah.
They've lost some. But they the games they lose at home, they usually have some bad breaks. Would you say the Florida State game 2 years ago, they had some bad breaks?
Yeah.
They missed a short field goal. They had the defensive touchdown.
Right.
Do you think the South Carolina game they lost at home this year, they had some bad breaks?
17-14. Didn't they turn the ball over at the 1 yard line?
Lenore Sellers had like some scramble and stuff like that. So 2 years ago, they lost at home to Spencer Rattler. Rattler beat him. He was inconsistent, but they beat him.
He had 2 touchdown passes.
It kind of you do need a little break. I will say that it takes a. They usually don't go down routinely at home.
No, it won't.
And this is supposed to be one of their better teams since
19.
Really? Gotta go back?
I think so.
Would you say? Was
That's
that the
the way they're
last
being talked about, I would say. Yeah.
2019? Would they do?
Lost in the finals.
To
LSU.
To LSU. Oh, my jeez.
You at the game?
Yes.
Somebody got Delmar on their mind, man.
Don't forget our friends at Relief Windows and reliefwindows.com. Does your homeowners association require wood windows that either face the street or overall, you name it, facing the golf course, whatever it is? You need to call my friends over at Relief Windows, because when you dealing with sort of construction, whether it's new construction or existing and remodeling and things like that, the one thing that the builder wants things that are going to last. The architect wants things that are going to look good. We want things that are going to look good, they're functional, and they last. And that's what you get with the R-Last wood windows, gel wind windows that come with a 20-year general warranty and lifetime limited warranty against rotten termites, providing you years of good-looking windows and minimal maintenance. That's what you get when you call Relief Windows. 288-8138. Yes, it's not Delmar weather over here in South Louisiana. From the heat right now to the Cajun blizzard that we had this past winter. 288-8138 and reliefwindows.com.
Live at Mike Anderson's Live at Lunch, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Live at lunch.
Running a business can be difficult enough without the right relationship with your bank. With United Community Bank's local business bankers, you're not just a number, you're a partner. Contact Heath Meir, Nicole Glover, Hunter Creed, David Campbell, or David Henry to discuss how we can help your business today. United Community Bank, the local way to bank big. Locations from Baton Rouge to Golden Meadow. We've been serving the people of Southern Louisiana for over 60 years. United Community Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender. Now everybody's been to Louis Cafe by campus. Heck, it's been around since over 80 years now. We're still doing delicious omelets like the Mitchell, cheesy grits, big cheesy Lou, and those Louis original Cajun hash browns. We now offer a pickup window. Just call in your order at 346-8221. Give us 15 or 20 minutes, and we'll have it ready for you. Our hours are now 6:30 a.m. to 2:30 p.m., 7 days a week. So next time you visit campus, make it a point to stop by and visit an old friend. Louis Cafe, just outside the north gates of LSU.
With all of the financial headlines, are you worried if your retirement savings will last? The market's ups and downs can keep you guessing, especially if you're approaching retirement or considering it. If you have more questions and answers about what's next, let's work together to help ensure you're prepared for your journey. After all, retirement isn't the end of the trek, it's a new beginning. Stop by your local Edward Jones advisor. Tex Morris on Jefferson. Edward Jones, member SIPC.
Louisiana, you've got a new home for coverage of LSU, the New Orleans Saints, and the Southeastern Conference. LouisianaSports.net. LouisianaSports.net. Feature stories, opinion columns, recruiting updates, in-game reports. And it's all free. No paywalls, no annoying pop-up ads, no recurring subscriptions. Just the content you crave. From the folks that bring you 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge, it's LouisianaSports.net.
The new location of Los Reyes Mexican Grill on Wesley across from Mike Anderson's. Man, the place looks great. Lots of indoor and outdoor seating options with plenty of big TVs to watch all your favorite games. All of the traditional Mexican cuisine with a great happy hour, 2:30 to 6:30, 7 days a week. Plus $5 margaritas all day, all night on Wednesdays. Great spot to bring the baseball team in between games, just 5 minutes north of Traction and 5 minutes south of LSU. Los Reyes Mexican Grill, 1072 West Lee, near Nicholson.
Since the 1930s, Supreme Rice has delighted their customers for all of your favorite South Louisiana dishes. Whether you like the brown, long grain, medium grain, jasmine, or the new parboiled rice, Supreme Rice makes your favorite dishes even better. They even have a healthy low glycemic rice, a great option for diabetics and those who have high insulin resistance. Supreme Rice is proud to be part of the Climate Smart program, which promotes water conservation and reduces methane emissions so future generations of Louisiana farmers can enjoy the same benefits. For more information and great recipes, find them online at supremerice.com. This is Charles Henniger for Total Maintenance for AC and heating, generators, electricity, and plumbing. Total Maintenance is your one-stop sales and service shop for all of these needs. Service today, every day. That's their slogan at Total Maintenance, so nobody ever has to go to sleep hot. Over the years, Total Maintenance has expanded into the New Orleans area, as well as their offices in Baton Rouge with full staffs in both markets. Call 480-1000 in Baton Rouge or in New Orleans, 841-3300. Service today, every day at Total Maintenance. This is Charles Henniger for Coastal Capital Advisors. When it comes to retirement, no two situations are alike, so Coastal Capital Advisors will tailor a plan for your family's needs, no matter your age or your financial situation. The bottom line is Coastal Capital Advisors will work with you and build a lifetime relationship. I know, because they work for me. For more information, contact Philip Fontenot and his staff at 337-981-1376 or online at coastalcapitaladv.com. Advisory services provided by New Age Advisors, LLC, doing business as Coastal Capital Advisors as a registered investment advisor. Securities offered through New Age Securities, Inc., member FINRA, SIPC.
Live at lunch with Ott and Annie from Mike Anderson Seafood on Lee Drive on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Heard from Georgia and Auburn today so far, and now Texas has entered the building. Jimmy, I'm sure you're very anxious to end the show today and go home and listen to what Arch Manning had to say. Come on, tee that up, who you?
I mean, you know, they got a loaded gun. They got a loaded deck. Do they have the best roster in the SEC? It appears so. That's what a lot of people think. I think so too.
I think that from the everywhere.
Outside quarterback.
Yeah, outside of quarterback for sure. And they may very well, look, I'm not telling you Arch Manning can't have the best. He could be the all-SEC quarterback. It's not like that would be a huge upset or anything.
Does it help the learning curve when you're surrounded by such good talent? How many Alabama quarterbacks won a lot of games and could do okay when they had a loaded deck? You know.
So what are you saying? He should have gone somewhere else?
No, I said this when Roscoe was around. We were trying to speculate where he would go. And Mincy was like, hey, you know, Ole Miss. Cooper's got investments in Oxford. Mincy, not happening. Okay. Cooper's always tried to load the deck, whether it's recruit the top rated receiver at the Manning Passing Academy. To come to Newman, to whatever, or to get Bordelon's kid to come live in New Orleans. I mean, he's always tried to load the deck. You got to give him credit because he saw that Texas, he committed 11 months after Texas was admitted to the SEC. That was a jolt of excitement to their booster base to donate. And then the NIL had passed and was about to go into fruition when he committed. So give him credit for having a little vision that Texas would be a major player in this new landscape of football. And also, when you get a recruit of that magnitude, doesn't it help you draw other pieces?
It should, yes. Absolutely.
We see that.
Where did you think he was? Do you remember at that time where you thought he was?
I thought Georgia or Alabama because they were the best rosters. They had the most resources going, and there was no reason that they should really stop.
And I thought he was going to Oklahoma because when Oklahoma entered the league and Lincoln Riley at the time, remember he had Baker Mayfield had been the #1 pick, Kyler Murray, he'd come off these Heisman guys.
I see that, but team-wise they just couldn't compete when they got outside their league. They could not even compete.
They couldn't. Okay, but I thought that's where he was. The quarterback lineage at that time under Lincoln. This is before Riley took the USC job.
I think
that's where I thought he was going.
I think he wants to win. And it was a little bit of a hedge, but you got to give him credit for Cooper doing his homework about kind of steering him in that direction. They say it's the kid's decision. One thing you knew, he wasn't going to Ole Miss and hoping that Lane Kiffin could get the collective up and that wasn't going to happen.
And Oklahoma wasn't completely uncompetitive. They were against LSU, but not against Georgia. The Baker Mayfield game at the Rose Bowl. That was a classic.
That was one of the greatest games of the playoff era.
They were not that far removed from being right there at the time. But I missed it, and turned out they did right because Riley ended up leaving.
Who has more of an upper hand? Who has more resources going for them in this new landscape than Texas? Nobody.
No. A&M was
Nobody.
close, but no.
Oh, come on.
Closest.
We've watched. I know. I can't say that. We've watched these jokers stumble over themselves for how long?
Yeah.
I mean, at some point, show me. When we go talk about Clemson's defensive front, show me A&M. You got to win something.
I know who's got the better athletic director. That's Burnt Orange for sure.
Yeah,
Than
no.
A&M.
But that's part of their their mismanagement at College Station. You know?
Yeah.
I mean, and some of it just they're trying to spend, but they got some. I think Georgia's roster may take a little bit of a step back this year.
And a step back for them.
I thought they were very fortunate to win that conference championship game. I thought Texas was the better roster, and Texas is going to be better this year.
Yeah, the injury, the quarterback injury, kind of muddies it a little bit. But yeah,
why? Because they won it with the backup.
I know they did, and that's why I'm saying that Georgia might have been a lot better than Texas if the starter plays the whole way. So I'm not as sure about that. But it's.
Well, Beck had a poor game in Austin. They still beat the crap out of him, and I see that. But the second time around, I thought Texas left a lot of points on the board, in the game in Atlanta. So, I couldn't. Georgia couldn't stay on the field with Notre Dame, really. I mean, they definitely couldn't stay on the field with Ohio State this year, huh?
Not Ohio
and Texas
State.
did.
Yeah.
Texas was 2 yards away, huh?
I thought Georgia hung around in that game against
did,
Notre Dame, but they weren't impressive.
Digits,
they weren't impressive. No, sure.
Oh, don't forget our friends over here at Workbox and Workbox Services. My buddy Martin Padial, and expanding. That's right, their newest location at Workbox. And the second office, which extends our coverage all the way down to the Gulf Coast, through New Orleans and Baton Rouge, all the way to Lake Charles. Of course, shipping containers of all sizes, you name it, for residential or commercial use as well. 8x8, 8x10, 8x20, 8x40 feet, you name it. You want a tool storage container for your job site? No problem. Custom lunchroom? No problem. Customize it, part office, part storage, dual purpose? No problem. Custom safety storage near the plant? No problem. Our great staff, Martine Sr., Martine Jr., Hannah, Brandy, and Chris. Workbox and Workbox Services, 343-4886 and WorkboxLLC.com.
Live at Mike Anderson's Live at Lunch, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Live at lunch.
Discover a new standard of luxury at Genesis of Baton Rouge. Picture this: valet and concierge services, all complimentary for 3 years or.
Whenever you're ready there, Jordan.
All right, it's rolling.
This is Charles Hanniger. Join us for the Wednesday edition of Live at Lunch from Finbom, Sushi Burrito, Poke Ramen, professional sports handicapper Randy McKay, as well as Scott Hang on. This is Charles Hanniger. Joins us for the Wednesday edition of Live at Lunch from Finbom, Sushi Burrito, Poke Ramen. Randy McKay joins us, as well as Scott Rabelais from Media Days and Wes Reynolds with Golf Picks. Live at Lunch, Wednesday from Finbom on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Grown, milled, processed in Louisiana since 1936. United Community Bank, the local way to bank big. Tex Morris at Edward Jones Investments on Jefferson Highway, 928-8659. Total Maintenance, your one-stop shop for AC, electrical, generators, and plumbing. Service today, every day for Total Maintenance and Coastal Capital Advisors. Markets evolve. We adapt.
Go Automotive has a great selection of new cars: Chevy, GMC, Hummer, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram. You rather a pre-owned vehicle? Using our resources will help find you any vehicle that you're looking for. Our service department offers VIP service. You never have to come to the dealership. We'll pick up the vehicle at your home or office, drop off a loaner, service the vehicle, and return it when it's done. Mention my name, Jimmy Ott, for VIP pricing. The Chevy Tahoe I drive came from Go Automotive. That's Go Automotive in LaPlace and Plaquemine.
By now, you know that we do our show every other Tuesday at the Crown Town Room at Doe's Eat Place. The Crown Town Room is ideal for larger groups, or if you just want to watch the game on one of our 3 large TVs. The tamales are the most popular appetizer, but don't forget the seared tuna with the sriracha glaze for the perfect blend of sweet and spicy. You can't go wrong also with the flash-fried oysters or the shrimp. The porterhouse is the perfect steak to share. Strip on one side, filet on the other, prepared at different temps if you like, bone in to maximize flavor. Doe's Eat Place on Government Street, just off Acadian in the heart of Mid-City. By now, you know that we do our show every other Tuesday at the Crown Town Room at Dozy Place. The Crown Town Room is ideal for larger groups, or if you just want to watch the game on one of our 3 large TVs. The tamales are the most popular appetizer, but don't forget the seared tuna with the sriracha glaze. For the perfect blend of sweet and spicy, you can't go wrong also with the flash-fried oysters or the shrimp. The porterhouse is the perfect steak to share. Strip on one side, filet on the other, prepared at different temps if you like, bone in to maximize flavor. Dozy Place on Government Street, just off Acadian in the heart of Mid-City.
The Grand Bayou Casino, conveniently located off I-10 at exit 139 in Grostead, offers the latest video poker machines 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Got a great staff at the Grand Bayou Casino. Our inviting staff will greet you with complimentary coffee and sodas as you enjoy listening to the curated tunes in our comfortable seating. Make the trip to Grand Bayou Casino, where players are welcome. The Grand Bayou Casino, I-10 at the Grostead exit. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, call 1-877-770-STOP. The Grand Bayou Casino.
Have you been arrested or even issued a traffic ticket? Everyone makes mistakes. Hi, I'm Dana Brown from the law offices of O.C. Brown. If you find yourself in an unfortunate situation with the law, call us today, and we can help you resolve your problem, whether it's just a traffic matter or something more serious. No criminal matter is too big or too small for us to aggressively and effectively represent you. Before making any decisions, call us at 225-343-1111 for your free consultation. You can also visit us at ocbrown.com. The law offices of O.C. Brown, your law firm for a lifetime.
Tigers, Saints, Southeastern Conference, all in one place. LouisianaSports.net. No paywalls, no article limits. It's just the coverage the Louisiana sports fans want. Bookmark it today. LouisianaSports.net. 104.5 ESPN, Baton Rouge. Live at lunch with Ott and Danny from Mike Anderson Seafood on Lee Drive on 104.5 ESPN, Baton Rouge.
You got to love August. ESPN front page. First article, can Brian Kelly and LSU win it all? 2 columns down. Could Brian Kelly be on the hot seat at LSU? Could be an interesting August.
One thing he didn't shy away from. I think Brian Kelly has been really, really good with the media since he's been here. But anyway, he's not shying away from how good their roster is.
See you guys tomorrow.
Live at lunch. Get the 104.
All right, you guys have a good one.
Powered by Bayou.